Hello guys and welcome to UK Foundations. I'm Uttaraditi. Today we'll be solving exercise 2.2 of polynomials chapter. So let's begin without any further delay. So of the first question, we have only the fifth question if you analyze properly. So let me just get it highlighted. Okay, so it's only the fifth question, the first me. Just get it ignored. Okay. Right, only the fifth question. So there are certain disturbances behind, but let's just try to solve the questions without considering them. Okay, can the quadratic polynomial k square plus kx, x square plus kx plus k have equal roots for some odd integers k greater than 1? So for this to have equal roots, we know that the determinant should be equal to 0. Determinant formula is b square minus 4ac. It should be 0. Substitute the values. B is k, so k square minus 4 into a is 1 and k will be the value of c. Okay, so k square minus 4k should be 0. Let us take k out of this common and equate it to 0. So now we know that either k can be 0 or k minus 4 can be 0. So in that cases k value is 0, 4, right? So now we have to find that the values of k for which the condition is satisfied. Now k should be greater than 1, but if you see here, so k is equal to 0, but then it's less than 1, so remove this option, and another is for some odd integer, right? So but is 4 an odd number? No, right? So this is also removed. And is the statement true? No, it is false. The statement is false. Okay, I hope you have understood. I'll just give you a little less than a minute. Just analyze the answer and copy it down. Okay, right, I'll be scrolling down in 3, 1, 2 and 3, right? Okay, now we have to see, are the following statements true or false? We have to find out whether the statements are true or false, and we have to justify our answer as well. So let's try to analyze this as well. Okay, why not take up a different color? This one? Yeah, sure. Okay, are the following statements true or false? Justify your answer. First question, if the zeros of the quadratic polynomial a x square plus bx plus c are both positive, then a, b, c will have same signs. So in this case, let's assume that the roots are alpha comma beta. Both are positive, that's what is given. Now we have to check if the condition is satisfied. So now let's take sum of the roots, alpha plus beta. In the previous video itself, I have explained much more about the relation of the roots with the quadratic equation. So definitely check out that video if you haven't. If you have, then great, well and good. Alpha plus beta will be minus b by a, and alpha into beta is going to be c by a. Now if alpha and beta are positive, then minus b by a should also be positive, right? So that means right, so b by a should be negative, because negative into negative will be positive. By this only you will get to know that, see, b by a should be negative. That means either b or a should have negative sign, right? Let me explain it once again. Alpha plus beta, both are positive, so positive plus positive will give you a positive number. Now minus b by a is positive, means then b by a should be negative. Okay, so now if b by a should be negative, let us make it like this, b equals to negative a. Okay, negative of some number into a. So this is the thing that we get, negative of some number into a. By this you will get to know that b and a are not of the same signs, but they said that all have the same signs. So this is wrong. It's a false statement. Okay, so this is a false statement. If the zeros of the quadratic polynomial are both positive, then they have to have the same sign as wrong, because we have proved it here. Okay, next moving on to the second part, which is if the graph of a polynomial intersects the x-axis at only one point, it cannot be a quadratic polynomial. Do you remember the last question of the first exercise where we saw various graphs and I gave some conclusions, right? If you remember, then this question is very easy for us, right? If not, also I'll just explain it now. Okay, so now for a quadratic polynomial, it can have the number of roots as 0, 1 and 2. Okay, so the number of roots can be 0, 1 and 2. So here if it's intersecting the x-axis at only one point, it means that the number of roots is 1. And can a quadratic polynomial have only one root? Yes, definitely it can have. So they said that it cannot be a quadratic polynomial, so it's false, because it can be a quadratic polynomial. Okay, so this is a false statement, right? It applies for anything. Like if I take a cubic equation, a cubic polynomial, then it can have 0, 1, 2 and 3 as the number of roots. Let me make that clear. Okay, next, if the graph of a polynomial intersects the x-axis at 2 points, it need not be a quadratic polynomial. Yes, it need not be, means it's not like necessarily 2 exact roots will be for a quadratic polynomial, because for a cubic polynomial, according to this condition here, you can get 2 as the number of roots as well, right? So it is true. Here need not be is, they are playing with words, it need not be, right? Okay, if two of the zeros of a cubic polynomial are 0, then it does not have a linear and a constant term. Let's see. Suppose this is the equation of a cubic polynomial: a into x cube, b into x square, c into x plus d equals to 0. Now if alpha, beta and gamma are the roots, let's assume alpha and beta are 0. Well, gamma is just gamma. Okay, so now if I take product of the roots, alpha into beta into gamma, it will be minus d by a, right? But then alpha into beta into gamma comes out to be 0, so we get to know that d is 0. Make this term 0. Okay, this the value of d becomes 0. Now if we take the product of the roots taken 2 at a time, alpha beta, beta gamma, alpha gamma, alpha into beta is 0, beta into gamma is 0, alpha into gamma is 0, so this is 0. So what happens is this will be c by a. C also becomes 0, so this term is also 0. Now how can you tell about b and a is that b's value is sum of the roots, alpha plus beta plus gamma, you will get it by minus b by a. Now alpha and beta value is 0, but gamma value is not 0, right? So you can't tell that b is 0. So the equation reduces down to a into x cube plus b into x square equals to 0. Now does it have any constant term? Constant term is the last one, d, which becomes 0, so it does not have. And a linear term is here, it is also 0. So if the two zeros of a cubic polynomial are 0, then it does not have a linear and a constant term, so it's true. Okay, so just analyze it. I'll give you a minute. Okay, I think it's crystal clear. Moving on to the next question. Right. If all the zeros of a cubic polynomial are negative, then all the coefficients and the constant terms of the polynomial have the same sign. Okay, let's take, it's a cubic polynomial, so it should be a into x cube plus b into x square plus c into x plus d equals to 0. Okay, if all the zeros, it will have 3 zeros, alpha, beta, gamma, they said all of them are negative. So let's just try to analyze them. Sum of the roots alpha plus beta plus gamma is equal to minus b by a, and when all are negative, then sum of the negative terms will also be negative. This negative will get cancelled. So b by a is positive. right? So you can, it can be like both B and A are positive or both B and A are negative. So this is the first conclusion that you will get. Next, let's take the case of product of roots, alpha, beta into gamma, like 3 at a time, right? So this will be minus D by A. Okay, so alpha, beta, gamma all are negative, so negative into negative into negative will be negative. So it applies the same now, negative negative gets cancelled, so so D by A is positive. Excuse this. Okay, now let's take 2 at a time. Alpha beta plus beta gamma plus alpha gamma should be C by A. Okay, so alpha into beta will be positive because negative into negative is positive, likely for this term and this term. So all of them are positive. C by A is also positive. So just relax and just check it off, right? So now by this you will get to know that all of them are positive, positive, positive. So you can assume even if we take A as positive, then B, C and D should be positive. Even if I take A to be negative, then B, D and C should be negative. So all of them have the same sign. So it is true. Okay. So all of them have the same sign, so it is definitely true. So you'll get to know that these formulas play an important role in this chapter. So definitely kind of keep it strong. It's easy well. Okay. Next, moving on to the 6th question. Okay. If all 3 zeros of this cubic polynomial are positive, then at least one of this is non-negative. Non-negative in the sense positive or 0. Okay. So let's see, all the 3 zeros of this are positive. So if alpha, beta and gamma, all the 3 are positive, then what are the conclusions that we can draw? Alpha plus beta plus gamma will be minus A. Okay, so now if all are positive, then what is the point? If all are positive, then minus A should also be positive, right? Like 2 plus 3 plus 5 all are positive, sum is also positive, equals to minus A. Then A should be negative in order to make the overall term positive. So first thing that we got is A is negative. Okay, first conclusion. Second is let's take alpha beta, beta gamma, alpha gamma will be you'll have minus B by A, then C by A, you get it as negative B. Now alpha into beta will be positive, positive into positive, positive, in the sense all of them are positive. Again B should be negative, that we got it from the previous, however we solve for A, likely like that only for this. Second conclusion. So here they said that at least one of this should be non-negative, but we got 2 of them as negative. So now the sign of C is the one that is a determining factor. Alpha into beta into gamma will be minus C. Okay, minus B by A, C by A, then minus D by A, which will be this thing. Alpha, beta, gamma will all be positive, so the product is also positive. Likely, as we have done for A, B, C should also be negative. So all the 3 are negative, negative and negative, so this statement is false. Okay, so it is false, so we are putting cross marks for false. So I think I am able to convey the thing that I am thinking of, right? Okay, so moving on to the 7th question. Let's see what does the 7th question have for us. Okay, the only value of k for which the quadratic polynomial has equal zeros is this one. Okay, is positive 1 by 2. How do we get to this conclusion? Is whenever they say like this, yeah, just a minute. The only value of k for which this has polynomial, quadratic polynomial, has equal roots. So equal roots means, again, determinant should be 0. B square minus 4ac should be 0. B square will be 1 square minus 4 into a into c. Am I right? So 1 minus 4k square equals to 0. Now just on a little rearrangement, you get k square to be 1 by 4. K will be plus or minus root of 1 by 4, which will give you plus or minus 1 by 2. This is the simple calculations, I am sure you would be knowing it, right? So now they have told that the only value of k is 1 by 2, for which you will get it to have equal zeros. But here, even if you put minus 1 by 2 as the value of k, you will get equal roots. So it is a false statement. It is false. Okay. So I think it was clear enough. So let's even start 2.3 exercise, because this was a shorter one, and also in 2.3 exercise we have only one main. And here I prefer you guys to solve by yourself. There are 10 questions. I'll pick any 4 of them and solve, but the rest of the 6 I want you all to solve it once. Okay, so definitely some practice is necessary, right? So find the zeros of the following polynomial by factorization method and verify the relation between the zeros and the coefficient of the polynomials. Okay, so let's definitely start with the first question as an inauguration to this exercise. Okay, so 4x square minus 3x minus 1. How do we solve it with the factorization method? Multiply this term in this number. 4 into minus 1, minus 4. So you have to get it in terms of the second coefficient. I think you know this definitely. So it will be, just a minute, negative 4x plus x minus 1 equals to 0. So now take 4 common. 4x if you take common, you will get x minus 1 plus 1 into x minus 1. Okay. So now I think you know this, right? Simple calculations. 4x if you take common, you will get x minus 1, and here plus 1 into x minus 1. 4x plus 1 into x minus 1. Right. So 4x plus 1 is 0, then x will be negative 1 by 4 comma 1. So these two are the values. So what is it? Let me write it a little neat. Negative 1 by 4 comma 1. So these two are the values of x that we have derived. Now we have to find the relation of these zeros with the coefficient of the polynomials. What do? Again, sum of the roots is minus b by a, sum of the roots, and product of the roots, there's no gamma here. Product of the roots is equal to c by a. Now sum of the roots, if we take 1 minus 1 by 4 will be 3 by 4, right? 3 by 4 equals to negative b. What is b here? Minus 3 by a is 4. Minus of minus 3 by 4. Proved. LHS equals to RHS. This is the relationship. And here likely product of the roots will be minus 1 by 4. And c by a, what is c? Negative 1 and 4. Negative of 1 by 4. So negative 1 by 4, negative 1 by 4 equal. Proved LHS equals to RHS, and we have also proved the relation between the roots. Okay. So majorly the two formulas is important. With those formulas you can find it. And factorization method, I hope it's easy. If you are a little confused with the roots that you have obtained, is it right or wrong, you can check it with two ways. One is substitute in the equation and check whether it's right or wrong, or use the quadratic formula to find the roots again. But I prefer you solving correctly in the first time, because we don't have a lot of time in the exam. Okay. Moving on. Second question, definitely solve it by yourself. It's similar. All of them are similar anyways. So we have some terms in place of x. We have t here. So let's try this third question. Okay. So 5 into t square plus 12 into t plus 7. So what we can do, 7 into 5 is how much? 35. How do we get 12? Again, 7 plus 5 is itself 12. So no issues. We can write it as 5t square plus 7t plus 5t plus 7 equals to 0. So if you group up these two and these two, you can take 5t common here, t plus 1, okay, and 7 common, t plus 1 equals to 0. 5t plus 7 into t plus 1 equals to 0. T equals to negative 7 by 5 comma negative 1. So these are the roots. Now I think you can check the sum of the roots and the product of the roots. So I'll give you 2 minutes. Try it by yourself by relating the sum of the roots and the product of the roots. I hope you have got it. Yes guys, now we will try the fourth question. Okay. Okay. Just some random color. Right. T cube minus 2t square minus 15t equals to 0. Take t common. In these kind of questions, there's no constant term, right? Easy method of solving is take t common, and you'll get 2t. You'll get t square minus 2t minus 15 equals to 0. Okay. So just keep them as it is. We'll just solve this quadratic equation. We'll factorize it. T square minus 2t minus 15 equals to 0. 15, right, negative 15. So how do you get it? 15, you can get it as 15 months, 3 5s are 15, right. T square minus 5t plus 3t minus 15 equals to 0. Okay, so now what we do is, again the usual method, take t common, t minus 5 plus 3 into t minus 5 equals to 0. So here you can write it as t into t plus 3 into t minus 5 equals to 0. Okay. So now as it's a cubic equation, you have to basically expect for 3 roots. Usually, right, we know that there can be 2 roots, 1 roots and 0 roots as well. But usually a cubic equation means 3 roots you can definitely expect. So now t can be 0, t plus 3 can be 0, t minus 5 can be 0. Okay, so t can be 0 is one solution. From here you will get t is minus 3, and from here you will get t as 5. Got the 3 values of t and we got the 3 roots. Right. So now I want you to check the sum of the roots, product of the roots taken 2 at a time and taken 3 at a time. So I'll just give you the formulas here. Alpha plus beta plus gamma is minus b by a. Alpha beta, beta gamma, alpha gamma equals to c by a. Alpha beta gamma equals to negative d by a. Okay, 2 minutes on the clock and solve it. Done? I think it's very simple, right? Not even 2 minutes is necessary. Okay, moving on to the 7th question. I think you all will be waiting for that because it appears to be complex, but it's not really. Let's see. Okay, until I keep removing these steps, I want you to keep solving the question if you have it. Okay, so right. 2s square minus of 1 plus 2 root 2 s plus root 2. So here you don't have to like multiply this 2 root 2 and all. Even if you do, right, this question is like it itself has done one step already in the method of process of solving. 2 into root 2, you'll get 2 root 2. Right here, 1 into 2 root 2 will be 2 root 2, and already the job is done of splitting it. Now they have already taken s common. What you do is nothing much, multiply the s inside the brackets, open the brackets, plus root 2, right? That's it. Now take from these two s common, we'll get 2s minus 1. Take root 2 common, or maybe negative root 2, right? That's better. 2s minus 1. So you'll get s minus root 2 into 2s minus 1 equals to 0. S equals to root 2 comma 1 by 2. That's it. These are the values. 7th question is also done. I said I'll be solving 4 questions, but as an offer, let's do another question as well. How about 6th or 8th question? Let's do the 8th one. Okay. How do we do this? Done copying, guys? I'll be erasing it in 3, 1, 2 and 3. Okay. B square plus 403b minus 15. We have to solve this equation. Okay, so how do we do this? Now we have minus 15. So if you have solved many questions like this only, it will quickly flash that 15, negative 15 can be written as 5 root 3 into negative root 3. How's it? Root 3 into root 3 is 3, 5 3 is 15, into negative 1 you'll get negative 15. Okay, so using this and relating it to this term, we have to do it. V square plus 5 root 3b minus root 3b minus 15 equals to 0. Take down v common, v plus 5 root 3 minus root 3 into v plus 5 root 3. Okay, so v minus root 3 into v plus 5 root 3 equals to 0. V can be root 3 comma negative 5 root 3. Done. Again same work, find the relation as quick as possible. Right? So that's how you do these questions. And the next exercise, let's see what is it. We have exercise 2.4 and we'll be done. Last exercise, right? So the last exercise will be coming up in the next video. I'll be meeting you in that, and I hope that this session was helpful enough. Definitely spread the key of success, spread knowledge. Thank you.